Hey, it's Wojtek here. I already did the snare and toms tuning tutorial, so now it's time for the bass drum. A lot of you ask me about the way I tune it, but also what I use for muffling. In this video I will show you both these things, but also which equipment I use and what do I do in terms of the recording, mic placement and sound processing. Let's go! I like the bass drum to be short, punchy, deep and very clear at the same time, so these are my main goals when creating the final sound in my videos. In most videos I use a 20-inch DW Collector's maple bass drum 18 inches deep. For the front head I use Remo Emperor Ebony, and for the butter one always Remo Powerstroke 3 clear with the Remo impact badge. The bass drum pedal is DW 9000 with a regular DW beater. It's also very important for the sound. The beater weight, shape of the beater, the material it's made of, the hardness of that material, it all affects the sound. In my case, I use the hard-filled side of the regular DW beater. I start with the front head where I finger tight all the tension rods. Then I usually go a bit tighter than that using a key. At this point I cut around 5-inch diameter hole in the new head. This one has already been used, so it's here. There's no rule where the hole should be cut, but I typically go off-center to the bottom right part of the head. The hole allows the air to escape the bass drum far quicker, which makes the sound shorter, more focused and less resonant. I tune the butter head the same way as the front one. First finger tight, then turning it a bit higher. Then I put on an impact patch where the beater hits. I check the sound and how the butter head feels when playing. Typically I'm already satisfied with both these aspects, but sometimes the head may need some minor adjustments. If it's about feeling, I adjust the butter head tension, and if it's about the sound, I try to change something with the front one. A big part of the bass drum tuning is muffling. When empty, it gets a weird resonance and the sound is quite unstable. A great way to treat and control it is to put two small pillows inside the bass drum and make them slightly touch both heads from the inside. A small piece of the blanket will work great for that too. Be careful not to over-muffle the bass drum, cause then it may become too dead. Let's hear the bass drum sound. I'll change between the raw and mixed track. For recording the bass drum, I use AKG D112 microphone. I typically make it look through the hole in the front head, pointing a bit off-center. The tip of the microphone is inside the bass drum. This way I get a lot of nice attack and some click together with the breath at the same time. I'm not an expert at mixing, and what I do here is based purely on what I hear and the trial and error method of learning. I mix mostly just drums, and my methods may not work with all the other instruments. Also, my mixes are made strictly for social media needs, so you're listening mostly on the devices like smartphones, tablets, where the speakers are not the best quality. My main goal in the mix is to make everything pop out of your device and be punchy and clear. I work in Logic Pro X, and for mixing I use just the basic built-in plugins: EQ, compressor and reverb. I use a compressor with the factory bass drum presets. I usually make some adjustments accordingly to the needs, but the preset is my base. I boost low frequencies a bit and some more around 5 kHz for a clearer attack and click. I lower down a bit around 500 Hz. I send just a hint of the bass drum to the artificial room channel that I need to use because of the dead sound in the studio that I record in. For the bass drum, and for every part of the drum kit as well, the sound comes not only from the tuning method, setup and equipment we use. A huge part of it is how we play. Here, a good technique and proper dynamic levels have a great significance. We all should constantly work on the sound that comes from us. It should be unique and well blending with the other instruments. Developing this requires a lot of hard work, time and dedication, but it's definitely worth. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it and that now you have a clearer vision of my bass drum sound and how do I create it from scratch. Make sure you check out my other tuning tutorials for the snare and toms, and if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on social media channels or through my email address. See ya!